Another thing I want to go through with the image manager, so I'm going right back to that same icon, the image manager, right back to that same pop-up window with all of my pictures. If you don't see the picture that you want to use on this page, it's not in the system yet, you want to upload a new picture, you'll see there's an icon here at the top to upload. You can browse for your picture wherever on your computer. So here I'm going to look at my desktop. I've got my junior winter picture, that's what I want. And then I'll choose the option to upload. So you'll simply choose upload, browse for the file, and then click upload to load it down. So here's my junior winter. Cue to the button, I'll click insert, and that will add that picture to my page. If I want to remove a picture from a page, I can click on it once, and you'll see you get these little boxes around it to show that it's selected. I'll simply hit the delete key or the backspace key on my keyboard, and it'll just remove it right there from the screen. Any questions on the image manager? All right, let's look then at the next few icons. Very similar to the image manager. We give you a pretty comparable tool set for managing Flash files as well as video or media files. It's become really popular in the last couple of years alone just to post videos, to post more interactive types of information. So instead of putting a little article up about the golf tip of the week and, forging your stance, maybe instead they'll get out the video camera, take a little 2-minute clip of the pro walking through the perfect golf swing, and sure enough want to post it on the website. Really simple to do. You'll simply choose this Media Manager icon. You can look for really any video file, and again, similar to the pictures, if we don't have the video file in our system yet, we'll simply click upload. You can browse for that file and grab it. And you'll notice we have some sort of tips here. The maximum file size we allow is 100 megabytes. That's still a very, very long, very large video. So we've got a lot of clubs using media files, video files on their site, whether it's a video clip of maybe when they had a local news story on their club, to tips of the week videos from their pros, to even just introductory type of videos about the club, from more of a marketing standpoint. And the type of extensions we allow, a lot of Windows Media, AVI, WAV files, MPEGs, lots of different options in terms of what types of videos you can load to the system. So you can simply choose your video and insert. If I choose to, again, I'm going to go back into that Media Manager, and I'll look at one of the videos we have. You'll see here I have the option to do properties. How big do I want this video? Do I want it to be 150 by 150? No, I want it to be larger. So you can designate how large you want that video to display, where you want it to display on the page in terms of if you want it to be in the text versus on its own line. You can also designate a number of different properties. For example, one of the simple ones that people like to choose is whether or not it automatically starts, or if somebody has to click to play it, whether it's something that loops, so it just plays over and over again, and so on. So you can go in and set specific options if you want. If there's anything unique that you want to be able to set, you can come in and do that. Is it something that you have to put in these properties? No. The defaults are all great, and you can kind of select and make those options. So again, if I choose auto start, it'll let me sort of designate that information and so on. Or if I just want to insert this video, I'll click insert, and it'll put that video right where my mouse was. Just like the pictures, if I want to remove it, I'll click on it once so it's got these little boxes around it, and then I can hit the delete key on my keyboard. Flash really works the same way. It's just again a different type of format. Now, sort of moving through this toolbar, we really got through the bulk of it with the images and the media. You can also do tables, and I actually use tables quite a bit in terms of formatting and laying out text and content to line up. If you're like me, you use the tab key a lot when you're lining up content on documents and pages. And the tab key, of course, doesn't really exist in the web editor. It's just not something that's web-friendly. So what we do is we actually use tables a lot to line up that information. So if I want to, for instance, move my picture into the table here, and all I'm doing is just cutting and pasting, I can move my text into the table. And again, I can have lots of content here and stack my pictures and stack my text to look just so. It's an option. So again, a lot of clubs will make use of that to stack their pictures and have them look neat. Okay. Additionally, for managing tables, very, very simple. Again, if we right-click on top of our table, you have some shortcuts for inserting rows and columns and merging cells and setting properties. If I want my table to have a background color, I can set table properties and choose a background color or border or any type of information like that. Very simple to do. Any questions about tables? All right, we'll continue. Kind of moving to the right, we get into some simpler areas. We have the option to show or hide the border. Just a little quick bite there. You can undo and redo. I'm a big fan of undo, redo. You can also cut, copy, and paste. So again, I can highlight information, choose to cut it, choose to paste it, and so on. Likewise, you do have special options to paste from Word but clear font, etc. You can also, if you're a keyboard person like me and you like to do the Control-A or the Control-C or Control-V, all those keyboard functions work beautifully here. Okay. After cut, copy, and paste, we get into the option to do a new paragraph, which will add just a little extra spacing. Sometimes it will indent if we have it set up that way. You can also do numbered or bulleted lists. Bold, italic, underline, again, very simple. We can just select it, make all those formatting changes. We can also do the strike through if we like. Additionally, you have the option here to align text to the left, to the center, or to the right. You can justify or just remove alignment altogether. Now, a couple of other things on the second row of icons, I want to talk a little bit about hyperlinks. If we simply just type in a website address, www.google.com, if I can type today, there we go. The system is smart enough to know that it's a website address, changes any formatting that you need to do, makes it a link, makes it underline, and of course the style of those hyperlinks could be different for each website that we do. So sometimes it'll change the color to blue, sometimes it'll make it smaller or larger or bold. Same thing happens with an email address. If I type in an email address, it's smart enough to know that that should be a link and it makes it one. But if we want a link to be actual words, so click here for more info. What we want to do is, again, first, of course, type the words that we want to be the link and then highlight it with our mouse. And then we can choose this icon here at the top for Hyperlink Manager. When we go into this area, we've got three tabs. The first is Hyperlink. It's the most common used because it's where we're going to maybe link to a website, CNN.com. Anytime you're actually leaving your website to go to another third-party site like CNN or Google, you want to make sure you open in a new window. That way they're not leaving your site to go to that site. They're just opening that website up in a brand new web browser window. That's going to help to make sure that again, you have continued activity, that members don't, again, get frustrated because they've left the site, now they have to go back and so on. Likewise, you do have the option to set anchor links like you do in documents. I tend to discourage it for the web pages. I feel like if we've got so much web content, we have to scroll and scroll and scroll and set anchor links, then maybe we need to break up that information to make it a little easier for members to locate and read. That said, anchor links work just the same as a document so that you can skip to top, back to bottom, and so on. You can also set up links to an email address, which is pretty common. So if we want them, when they click here for more info, to send an email to me, I might put in my email address here. And then I can even designate the subject. I am interested in membership. Really nice that it puts those details there. And now when I click OK, sure enough, click here for more info is now a link. If I want to remove that link, I also have the option to remove link, or I can right-click on the link and choose that option here as well. So very simple to do hyperlinks, and of course that's a pretty popular way of getting a lot more content on a page. Here are quick bites of information. Here are quick teasers. Click here for details. Click here for more info. And then, of course, you have the option to do tracking on where they're clicking and how active and how interested they are in various topics and so on. Continuing along the top of that editor tool, we have the option to set colors for font information. So we can set foreground color if we want it to be blue, and then the background color. We can also choose the font again. Even though it's going to default for whatever our style of font is, I can choose a different font style and size and so on. A couple of things I want to point out talking about the name and the size of the font. First of all, you can copy and paste into the editor tool any font. So if you've got a really ornate script, something that you're using in Word or Publisher, you can copy and paste and it'll look beautiful. However, if a member goes to view that web page online or view that email and they don't have that particular ornate font on their own computer, it's going to default to one of these. So I do recommend as much as possible making use of these fonts. And you'll see we have quite a style reference, so there's a pretty good menu of things to select in terms of making things, variant styles. But you want to select as much as possible from this list to have that consistency across all your content. Likewise, we're used to using point size in our documents like Word and Excel versus the web actually measures font in pixels. The difference is about 2. So a 12-pixel font on the web is about a 10-point font in a document and so on. So I like to point that out so that you're kind of aware and feel comfortable. You pick 12 and it looks just way too small. Keep in mind that difference of 2. The difference between the point and the pixel is typically about two digits. Similarly, and this is only available for the web and the calendar editor, but you do have the option if we've got different styles defined for your website to choose from those styles. So instead of having to choose that green font and it's bolded and it's size 14, we can actually just choose from this style drawer, I want it to look like that, and it'll change it for us. This is an option as well. Now here at the bottom you'll see we've got the number of words, the number of characters. It will also let you view the HTML if you want to see the guts and glory. And you can even see a preview as well, which basically just removes any of those border lines or edges, etc. So it lets you see the content as it's going to display. If we go back to the design, of course, that's the normal sort of way that we're viewing these pages. Any questions so far on what we've covered in the web editor tool? Well, I hope today's training was helpful for you. Again, it was just designed to give you a good overview of the editor tool and the options that you have. If you're ever trying to format something and you're not quite sure how to make that work, feel free to reach out to us at support@clubsoftusa.com. We're happy to help. A lot of it just takes practice, just like formatting and using a program like Word. The editor tool is the same way. But it is a fairly intuitive tool, and I want to encourage you to kind of continue to play with it and make use of it. And obviously, we've gotten a lot of very creative with a lot of our site and email marketing designs as well. We do have a number of other training topics scheduled for this week, so I'd encourage you to sign up for any other training classes that have some interest for you. Again, feel free to reach out to us with any questions, and thanks so much for your time today.